They done made a fucking buy now, pay later Costco option. Yeah, I saw that. Hell yeah, man. Why not? Go ahead and finance your like 48 pack of sea salt, like your big pallet. I don't know, whatever the hell people buy there. I don't shop at Costco. There's one Costco in Seattle, and I don't like the hassle. Costco's goated. Yeah, it is. Man with a flat cart full of groceries leaves a Costco warehouse on April 4th, 2025 in Hawthorne, California. Yerp. You know that's right. When will companies learn that it'll bankrupt everyone involved? Well, hey, maybe it'll end up going like the Klarna route, and it won't even matter because no one pays back their debt. Yo, Costco is not GOAT, it is big box store slop and it's bleeding America. I actually disagree in the context of Costco. I do think that stores like Walmart and Target are very, very bad for the local economy. I'm actually okay with it in the case of grocery stores. Because for one, like bulk buying food, there actually is a lot of money to save on the logistics of it. And for two, it's a necessity, right? They're not like commodity goods that you can go without, like cheap plastic slop, like it's food, you know. And for three, I think for the most part, when people grocery shop, for the most part, people kind of just go to one grocery store anyway. Like you might hit up two, and if you're doing market shopping, that's a different thing. Like a market shop, that's a different thing, right? But if you're going to a grocery store, you kind of just go to one place anyway. So I think I'm more okay with it. I don't think this is compatible with the walkability neighborhoods. I actually disagree. And to further that point, I will make this argument, okay? I think that a local Walmart is incompatible with a thriving hub of small mom and pop businesses. However, I think a local Costco is compatible with farmers markets. That's my argument. I can imagine those two. I think the Walmart will drive the small businesses out of business, which they have, but I don't think it meaningfully cuts into, because the market for food represents a very, very different, not only environment, but like range of foods, right? Whereas Walmart effectively replaces the stuff that it overtakes. But the Costco still needs massive parking lots. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, it's still like a big box store. I agree. I'm just saying that I think it's a lot better than other types of big box stores. You wouldn't put it in the middle of downtown or whatever. Like, put it out a little bit. People are driving to and from Costco, but you know what I mean. Now, keep in mind, I'm making that argument about Costco's food, not about their like Kirkland brand clothing or whatever. Okay, you can take a bus to Costco. Yeah, you can. I mean, good luck getting home with your pallet of groceries. MF actually buying Costco clothes? A lot of people do, yeah. They're not high quality, but they're cheap. 35 pack of Diet Pepper in the bus, lol. Hey, it's exercise, okay? The new buy now, pay later option will also charge interest with APR rates between 10 and 36%. A 500 buck purchase at 20% APR with payments spread out across 6 months, for example, will cost 88.27 a month, and the original 500 item would cost 529.61 overall. 10 to 36 what? I mean, isn't this in the ballpark of just putting it on your credit card? I mean, we accept pretty high rates for our credit cards because, you know, they're credit cards. I feel like, in a way, it's actually less exploitative for them to charge interest than to do the Klarna thing where they say, like, no interest as long as you pay back on time. Because I feel like that's a lot more deceptive. Whereas in this case, it's, like, essentially just the same as putting it on your credit card. Costco sells quite a lot of big-ticket items. Honestly, like what? When you enter a Costco, the first thing you see is their televisions, and televisions are like $5 now. It's like the one commodity good that actually decreased in price the way that it should have. You can buy sheds and gazebos. Yeah. Why did that happen? There are two main reasons that happened. For one, the technology to make monitors, screens, anything like that, it got a lot easier. Just across the board, all the tech that goes into it got a lot easier to make, a lot more inexpensive. And for two, and this is the big one, people realized, I should say manufacturers realized, that customers weren't going to keep buying new televisions every year. See, they still have you in the spin cycle. with your new iPhones and your new computers or whatever bullshit. But they realize that for the most part, the TV is something you set up in the living room and then just kind of leave it because no one wants to deal with the hassle of replacing it. And it's considered like a household item rather than a personal item for a lot of families. So people just kind of want to leave it as it is and not touch it. Unlike, say, a computer where a person might be kind of a hobbyist, right? Yeah, it's more like furniture. So as a consequence, the prices of televisions actually went down. Whereas with every other industry, they were like, well, we can just keep redesigning and reissuing new versions of it, and like people will keep buying it because like whatever, man. A lot of it is the fact that the tech to make it just got less expensive. For example, refrigerators haven't gone that much down in price because a lot of the cost of a refrigerator is the like actual physical materials of the refrigerator, right? The molding of the plastic, the amount of, you know, copper and metal or whatever. Like there's just raw material costs that make up a decent portion of what it costs. Whereas TVs are relative to their price, it's not really like the what they're made of, right? It's more like how it's made, and how we've made it has gotten better, but the what it's made of ain't getting any cheaper. They're trying to make fake resolution and fake frame gen on TVs now. I think Samsung TV are trying to add AI too. Oh, sure. Well, they did this with motion smoothing. I just don't think people are willing to pay out that much for it because it's stupid bullshit that no one cares about. It's like 3D TV, 4K TV, all that. No one cares. Most people can't even see it. Frame gen's neat in gaming. Don't get me started! I did this rant for 2 hours. People send me emails over it. AI is a demon technology, and it's always bad in all cases. Oh, it cured your cancer? You should have died! Bro, Satan's not that bad. I made a pact with him, and he restored me to life. All right, that's great, bro. 1 second. Ruben, what are you yapping about? Can somebody explain to this guy that I'm streaming? Do you know what a job is? Do you know what a job is? Hello. He will never know what a job is. Anything bigger than 1080p 60 FPS is unnecessary luxury, and I'll die on this hill. I don't even think it's luxury. I do think that there are some types of games where more than 60 FPS can be warranted. Like rhythm games, for example, or anything that's like extremely... Because I know your reaction time can end up getting tuned more than like between the 60th of a second. 1080p though, 1080p looks really good, like projected onto a wall. You know, if your face is right up close to the screen, I get it. I just think, I don't know. Eventually, people are gonna have to realize, like, and this is the thing that gets me. Okay, you are going to have to. You're gonna have to accept the fact that for a lot of stuff, we have plateaued technologically. From now until the day you die, there are some technologies that are just going to be about the same. And you know what? That's fine. It's been like that for your entire life. There are tons of technologies that have been basically the same for your entire life that you haven't cared about. Refrigerators, microwaves, basically everything in the kitchen, like almost everything in the kitchen, to be clear, like basically everything in that entire room. There's tons and tons and tons of stuff where there's been essentially no growth at all. And it's fine, because the point of us building things isn't to make new versions of that thing every year. What we need to work on is social progress. There are advancements to be made. It's just like people get so fixated on like, well, is this marginal improvement on you know, this bullshit tech that changes nothing, fixes nothing, your shiny toys. Yeah, this obsession with reinventing stuff that already works. We got to get over it, man. Air fryers? I mean, air fryers aren't even new tech, right? They're literally just convection ovens that are smaller. I mean, we had air fryers. They were called toaster ovens. We just changed the shape. You clearly don't own an air fryer. I do, and I use it all the time. Well, toaster ovens didn't push air. Yeah. They didn't add a fan. Whatever. And we reached the inevitable point in all discourse with chat where you guys just be contrary. You just list counterexamples. Okay.
Payment plan. Now to Costco. was jumping on the buy now, pay later bandwagon, offering the popular payment plan on some of its purchases. Consumer correspondent Becky Worley is here with what you need to know. Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Michael. BNPL, buy now, pay later. It allows consumers to buy items, but then pay for them over a specified length of time rather than upfront, often in installments. And now Costco has an official program. But there are some rules you need to know. First of all, you can only use the option online, not in Costco stores. It's only for purchases between $500 and, get this, $17,500. Yes. Yes. There are items that cost that much.
No financing a car, I suppose.
And you're going to use Costco's payment partner, Affirm. You can pick a payment time from 3 to 36 months, but there is interest. Costco says it ranges from 10% to 36%. So let's give you some examples. A $500 purchase with a 20% APR will cost you $529 if you pay over 6 months, 12 months, $550, 18 months, $578. For a lot of families, this is about stretching big purchases over multiple paychecks, but it's just important to know buy now, pay later does come at a cost, and missing or late payments can affect your credit rating. And yes,
really?
$500 to $17,500. I think I could drop it easy to $500 in store. But,
yeah. But 10 to 36%.
Woo, 36%. I couldn't imagine.
Bringing it up.
There you go.
That's right.
Want it bad enough, I guess.
We love having you in the studio.
Great to
And good morning, America, man. I will say I do think this is less manipulative than the Klarna thing, because I think that giving people an option that is essentially just, do you want to put it on your credit card, but it's our credit card, is a little bit better than Klarna saying like, well, there's no interest actually unless you miss payments. I think that's more likely to deceive people. But honestly, it's all bad. You know how I feel about the debit card. Is this still bad? Yeah, no, it's still bad. I just think that Klarna, I think, is like a very specific kind of, I don't know, Americans doing their quarterly shopping in one go. My opinion is that grocery stores shouldn't exist. All grocery shopping should either be big box Costco or Sam's Club or local markets, okay? And the idea is that every quarter you go down to Costco and you spend $1,000 and you buy in bulk like enormous amounts of all of the stuff that isn't perishable. You stack that shit up like you're preparing for the end times, okay? You put the extra, yeah, your beans and rice, 50-pound bags of rice, stack them up in the garage, whatever, okay? You know, stack that shit. And then you're like, oh, I'm walking home from work. I'm going to stop by this delightful farmer's market. I'm going to pick up 2 oranges, 1 like spring onion. I'm gonna get some like nice like rosemary in a little container that was picked yesterday, some blueberries, and then I'm gonna go home and make a delicious, tasty treat. I unironically think that's the best about, and it's not a bit. I think that's peak human society right there. I think that's as good as it gets. You get the incredible efficiency of modern industrialized agriculture. You get food abundance, but you also get like an enormous amount of variety and diversity in your local like urban habitat where you can walk through it and sort of enjoy it. Very, very good. We also need to throw really good coffee in there. Sure, but the really good coffee you're not going to get from Costco. That you have to get from a local brewery. There should be like 2 supermarkets per state. Are you suggesting like a supermarket should be like an IKEA? Like we need to make them even larger? Like basically everyone when they enter the store gets like their own little U-Haul trailer, and you kind of beep beep drive down a road in store in the warehouse, and you're like, that's a lovely pallet of you know, Laura's sea salt or something. You got like a forklift. Credit cards are great if you get 30 to 60 days no interest to pay it, so you net 4% in savings account. Stop borrowing money to invest, get interest on the money you already have. God doesn't want you to do that. And nobody lives like that. Math nerds and neoliberals on Twitter talk like that. No one actually does that. Nobody's like, oh, I finance my purchases so I have a 30-day free window so I can accrue an extra 0.038% of the $2,000 I have in my high-yield savings account before I have to pull it out and pay down the credit card. Your whole life is just money up here. Do you enjoy art? Do you go out on walks? I don't believe you. That shit's crazy to me. I genuinely cannot fathom living life like that. What about the 4% cashback thing? You get 4% cashback on your credit card? No way. All right, Warren Buffett. I've seen people get 10%. No, that's 10% for select purchases. That's not 10% broadly. Are you insane? 10% cash back on your credit card for everything? It is literally free money. Wonder why it's only online. I wonder why they cap it off at 17,500. If you had any convictions, you convert subs to a mail-in cash-only system. Whoa, 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 whoa. We don't have subscriptions here, by the way. And by the way, noticing a lot of white names in chat. Probably a consequence of the whole economy crashing, world-ending business that we've been talking about for a few months now. They're called tips now. Thank you. Vosh, I literally live like that. My wife and I have a whole strat. I don't think you're people the way I'm people. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid you've optimized yourself into a position where you're less than human to me. It's like, you ever bust out Smash at the when everyone's hanging out, and then some tryhard who goes to local tournament shows up and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna check this one out, and then he like effortlessly no stocks your entire like 5 other people. You're not having fun at that. It's a different game to you. Okay, I'm in this to have fun. I'm here having a good time. All right, for you, you're like you like numbers. Okay, I like pussy. I'm sorry, don't we all? Clearly not. Dude's married, the pussy's locked down. Not if you're too busy with the numbers. You don't understand. You don't know what it's like out there. I got 4% cash back. Why? 4% across the board? Whatever. Across the board, it's a credit union now? Okay, I don't know shit about that. I don't know shit about that. Sorry.